Great. Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take the top stories in crypto and break them down to bite-sized pieces. So today, just the thumbnail and the title suggests, there's a little bit of an article I want to go over, and it just talks about U.S. lawmakers, or a specific lawmaker, is directing the SEC, and potentially what they want them to do is go a little bit harder as far as to Ripple and XRP. And I got to tell you, I'm glad that the midterms are coming around. So we're going to take a look at this case. We're going to take a look at the representative behind it. We're going to take a look at who is donating to this representative from California. And then we'll take a look at just what happens around the midterms as far as the markets. So we'll take a look at that. Then a quick update. We did an Aavegotchi land management system video and also an update to the sweat coin competition. So let's just jump right in, shall we? So first of all, market's pretty good today. And I know today is not my usual time. A lot of things going on. Sunday's usually my catch-up day. I try to keep things light. I think we've had a pretty junk time in the market for a little bit of time moving forward. So I thought, well, I'll just keep this today light and very quickly. So today, usually Sundays are for a little bit of a dump like last time and time before that, but today it's holding up pretty well actually. Bitcoin's right around that 22,000 mark, 7 days, 6%, almost 7%. Ethereum's up 18% for a week, 3.5% for the day, and things are looking pretty good, quite honestly. Let's see, anything down the last 24 hours? No, looking pretty great. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And of course, we'll see what happens on the 27th, which is Wednesday, when Jerome Powell comes out and the Fed determines what the rates will actually be. Will it be 75 basis points or a full percentage point moving up? And who knows? I don't know exactly what it is, but we'll see how it all plays out. But I got to tell you, those CPI numbers coming out, being high as they were at 9.1, and now we're taking a look at what's going on in the market, traditional and in crypto. Things are quite resilient. So that's the market itself. Now let's take a look at this little case here. And it just came across my desk. I thought it was just an interesting snippet of information. And not to say that this gentleman, Brad Sherman, is any kind of lacking in intelligence. I think he's a smart guy. It's just very odd how things are going. U.S. lawmaker urges the SEC to go after major crypto exchanges that traded XRP. So it's not enough to go after Ripple. Now they have to go against these exchanges that were selling securities. So here's what we got. Congressman Brad Sherman, Democrat from California, chairman of the House Financial Services Subcommittee on Investor Protection, held a hearing Wednesday to examine the efforts by the U.S. SEC to address emerging risks and to protect investors. First of all, excuse me, who's Brad Sherman? That's Brad Sherman right there. Congressman Brad Sherman serving the San Fernando Valley. And I got to tell you, this guy is not dumb. If you take a look at just his biography, he's had quite an illustrious career through service, civil service. But this was what struck me. Sherman received a BA from UCLA, where he graduated summa cum laude. Later, he received his law degree from Harvard, where he graduated magna cum laude. Sherman then worked as a CPA, attorney, and certified tax law specialist. So I find it very odd, the things that he said. And then also, in case you were curious, I was, who donates to Brad Sherman's campaign? Well, a lot of it, securities and investments, 177,000, Democracy Engine, 68,000. And you can see that this gentleman's raised quite a bit of money. And you can see everything from Democracy Engine to Fidelity. Fidelity, that's crazy. Fidelity's pretty big into crypto, but sure. Kaiser, Blackstone, and NASDAQ. Securities investments, it breaks it all down. But I will just say this guy knows how to raise some money. Total raised versus average raised. This in the yellow is the average raised by House members. And Sherman is crushing everybody, especially in 2012 when he raised $3.2 million. So, good for that guy and who is funding him. And I'm not making any allegations, just letting you know. If you'd like to find out anybody that you're interested in as to who is giving to their campaign, it's at opensecrets.org. And you can do a search for your representative, and the link's in the description. Anyhow, so here's what I found odd. Sherman, who's a senior member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, questioned the SEC Director of Enforcement, Gerber Agriwal, regarding XRP and Tether. And he states, hey, you've gone after XRP because XRP is a security. Not that I think it's a security. or it's going through the process, but it is a security, and that's what I say because I'm Brad Sherman. But you haven't gone after all the major crypto exchanges that process tens of thousands, if not far more, XRP transactions. He stressed, if XRP is a security, you think it is, and I think it is, why are these crypto exchanges not in violation of the law? And you have to understand that Brad here, he's trying to protect the people, his constituents in California. But I got to tell you, the SEC didn't do a great job. As soon as that lawsuit was put into place, a lot of those XRP holders, myself included, saw a dramatic drop in the price of XRP. And I don't think that's what they had in mind, but that is what happened. So, and he states, is it enough that the crypto exchanges have said, well, having committed tens of thousands of violations in the past, meaning that they were selling unregistered securities? Debatable. We promise not to do any more in the future. Is that enough to get you off the hook? The SEC director replied, I can't talk about what matters we're looking at and not looking at. We have brought exchange cases like Poloniex. That's pretty much the big one. And then Sherman said, it's easier to go after the small fish than the big fish, but the big fish operating major exchanges did many, tens of thousands of transactions with XRP. And let me be clear. If he believes that XRP is a security, it won't stop there. So everything that any exchange has brought forth, and as far as I am aware, I believe that Gary Gensler believes that everything's pretty much a security besides Bitcoin, maybe potentially Ethereum. So that's going to be pretty bad for all the exchanges. Will it filter down to us? No, remains to be seen. But this is what we have. So then to finish this up, you know it's a security. That means they were illegally operating a security exchange. They know it's illegal because they stopped doing it, even though it was profitable. They didn't stop doing it. It's because it was a question because you guys brought them to court. So if they know it's legal, you know it's legal, and I know it's legal. I hope you focus on that. And then they asked, can you tell us why you went after Tether or Terra, but not Tether? And he said it was inappropriate for me to comment, so on and so forth. The SEC is investigating Terra UST, the algorithmic stablecoin that collapsed in May. I thought that was interesting. And then this is the thing. Responding to Sherman's statements, Stuart Alderati, I think that's how you say it, nailed it. He's the general counsel for Ripple, tweeted Wednesday, when elected officials don't understand that the mere filing of a case by the SEC doesn't determine anything, it's more than concerning. Only the court can make a determination. It's called due process. And again, just to be crystal clear, I'm pretty sure Brad knows that because, I mean, he did go to Harvard, magna cum laude, attorney and certified tax law specialist. So I think he knows what it is. It's just an interesting conversation we're having. During Wednesday's hearing, Tom Emmer, a Republican in Minnesota, criticized the SEC's approach to regulating the crypto industry and says, it seems clear to everyone except maybe those of the commission that the SEC is not regulating in good faith. And this is just another yet example of enforcement through regulation. So again, you have to take a look at the story behind the story and look at what the motive might potentially be. Trust no one, and that's just how it is. So that will conclude today for clown news. Just want to keep it light on a Sunday. Let's move forward so we talked about this yesterday, actually. And we talked about the different divisions here in America amongst Republicans and Democrats. And not that there's all Democrats are against crypto and all Republicans are for it, but you can see that a lot of Republicans are really for crypto and digital assets. And we gave a couple examples right there. Tom Emmer, Cynthia Lummis from Wyoming, and of course, Ted Cruz from the great state of Texas here, also a big Bitcoin proponent. So just as an awareness, I know we've got a lot of things coming up this week. We've got earnings reports coming out for a lot of big tech companies. So we'll see how that pans out. We'll also take a look at, again, the interest rates that maybe Jerome will be raising, probably not dropping. And of course, we'll see how that affects the market. And then, of course, we might at some point soon get to see if the second quarter was a reduction in GDP, which would then equal a confirmed recession, which I think we are in right now, because the Q1 was a reduction in GDP. So 2 consecutive quarters would equal a confirmed recession. So in all those things, you have to understand that not all is lost. I think things are looking up as time goes on. How long will that take? I can't tell you, but I will tell you this. We talked about this yesterday. Yeah, here in America, we have midterms coming up. First week of November, Super Tuesday, all that great stuff. And there was a great data point that was put in, and they took a look at midterm election how it affects the markets, more specifically the S&P 500. And you can see right here where it says, takes a look at 4 different levels. There we go. So you got the before the midterm. So that's the performance November 1st to October 31st, or a year before the midterm takes place. And we are just 2 months away. Let me say July, September, no, like 2.5, excuse me. And then, of course, this right here is 3 months after, 6 months after, and 12 months after the midterm elections. And just so you know, we can go all the way back to Kennedy and Johnson and Ford and Carter and Reagan, all that stuff. But all I want you to focus on is this: the midterm average, 12 months leading up to these midterm elections, things aren't doing that hot, 0.3%. But 3 months after, 7.3%. 6 months after, it grows 15.1%. And 12 months after, 16.3%. Those are good. Those are good numbers, because what all markets don't like is uncertainty. And when you have a lot of uncertainty going on, especially with what's going on in the House and senators, and there's a lot of turmoil, I do believe that Congress, well, at least the House of Representatives will be flipped. I don't know about the Senate, but that could be good news for crypto and digital assets. And I'm not here to talk about politics, because that would be a recipe for disaster. I try not to talk about two things, which is politics and religion on this channel. That is just it's a non-starter. But I can take a look at the numbers and I can say, well, that looks positive. So let me think about that in the comment section, but there's a long way to go before we can actually get to the real bull market. I think this year's pretty much shot, and we'll see what happens next year. So let me think about that in the comments. And then just really quick, there was a couple of videos, or a video that I put out this morning, matter of fact. I was doing a lot of edits, and we just did the farming Avogacci video. If you're into play to earn gaming and metaverse stuff, great. They have a new land management system where you can lend out your Avogacci. Someone does all the work for you, and you get split profits. It's crazy, and that's what's going on over there. So that is over on the Dan Degen channel. I called it Dan Degen because it's pretty much just gambling, which is a lot of what we're doing anyhow. Let's be honest, it's gambling. So over in that channel, just be aware that those type of projects are super duper risky, depending on your risk tolerance. And of course, that would lead us back to, just as we've always talked about on the show, the rules. The rules are below me. Those are my rules, not your rules. But just remember, don't invest more than you can afford or care to lose. Just assume that it's all gone, because in crypto, it's very volatile. Make sure that you understand that everything's a scam, and don't trust, verify. Take everything off exchanges. Nothing gets left on there as much as possible. Don't use leverage and take profits. These are my rules. You can adopt them to yours, but this is what has served me well. And it's always a constant reminder, especially with what's happening recently. And then lastly, I just want to make mention that there's an update to Sweatcoin. And that's not right. So that's right. So over on Dan Teaches Crypto, 100% free website. Made it free, always will be free. We used to do Sweatcoin, the Sweatcoin challenge, and I would just give the top 3 winners their choice of coming on the show, doing a live portfolio review, or giving them 50 Sweatcoins. Now we've extended that to, it's going to be top 3 winners get the same thing. It's their choice. But then winners 4 through 10, if you beat me in the number of steps you take per month, which I don't think is going to happen, but sure, then I'll pay out 50 Sweatcoins a piece. So winners 4 through 10, you get 50 Sweatcoins. So top 3, 4 through 10. If you get 11th place, though, you get nothing. Better luck next time. And then, of course, but look at the bright side. Hey, you got to move some more, and you're healthier. So there is that. And then, of course, on this page, there's the deep dive video, everything you want to know about Sweatcoin. And, of course, just as a reminder, right now, the app is free. Did I tell you it's free? Yeah, it's 100% free. And there's a link in the description you can download. It's very simple. Or go to this page. And before September 12th, which is coming up pretty soon, July, it's like 2 months, 1,000 steps is 1 Sweatcoin. And after that, or a year, or after TGE, 1,000 steps will be 1/4 of a Sweatcoin. Then a year after that, 1,000 steps will be 1/10 of a Sweatcoin, and so on and so forth. So it might behoove you to just take a look at it. Again, that's not financial advice, but I don't see how it could be, because you're downloading a free app that gives you free coins that's doing a token generation event on September 12th. And I remember, it's free. So that's what's going on. And then, of course, you can take a look at just how fast it's actually gone. You know, it has 11 million wallets. Just saying. And that's it for today. So that takes care of the news. Again, I want to keep it nice and light as much as possible. And I just want to get into the Q&A. If you got to take off, it is Sunday. So thanks for showing up. I don't know what time it is, but it's super late for all of us. Like for me, it's 5:40 here. I don't know where you're at. But that was it. So look, if you liked today's video, give it a like. And you can subscribe if you want to, but I'm here every day. So just stop by. But that's it. If you got to take off, adios. Now let's get into the Q&A. I'll answer all your burning questions to the best of my abilities, and we will go from there. So if you got to go, adios. Thanks for stopping by. And let's see what we got. Shaolin says, so late for digital asset news. True. I don't usually stream this late. Usually it's in the morning. I like to get things done, but today was just one of those days. Sundays, again, is my catch-up day. So, yeah. Thanks, Doc. Final Cleanse says, does anyone know if you bought, okay, that's a good question. If you bought Bitcoin at 29,000 and it drops to 20,000, that's an unrealized tax loss, unrealized. Then if you pair trade with ETH, for example, would spending the Bitcoin count as a realized loss for tax purposes? It's supposed, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, but as far as I understand my layman's language, if you have to do any type of maneuvering or selling of Bitcoin, or if you're transferring or swapping, it's still a taxable event. So if you bought a 29K and then you swapped out a 20K for Ethereum, sold, swapped, whatever you want to do, transformed, that is a taxable event, either a loss or a gain. In this situation, it will be a loss as I understand it. Correct me in the comment section and talk to your CPA because I am not one of those. So that's it. Gas fee. Brad Sherman is the clown, not Rob. Well, I look pretty clownish today. Sherman is a politician melting the ongoing court case. He'd be thrown out of the office in that case because yes, could be true. Look, that guy's not dumb. He knows what he's doing. That's all I'm saying. I just thought it was interesting how they pressed it that much. And yeah. So this keeps coming up. What do you think about the deal with Voyager and FTX? I think it's a cash grab. I don't know if this is, to me, as I read it, correct me, but it looks like they're going to be paying pennies on the dollars and they're going to start just to absorb Voyager. I'm not for sure that is the best thing that people want. I don't, like for me, quite honestly, for Voyager and Celsius, because I left a little bit of my portfolio on there. I think we all know that. Time is irrelevant, really. I don't really care about taking a haircut. I'm not in the game to like sell tomorrow and say, well, just give me half of what I put in and it's okay. You guys get off scot-free for what you did to everybody. It's not how it's going to work with me. Now, it has to get put to a vote, but that's not what I would vote for. So if that's the case, then no. If they're coming in, and I understand it's not going to even be close to this, if they come out and go, hey, we're going to pay everybody exactly what they had in their accounts, sure, great, let's do it. I don't think that's how it works. Marky, legend. Robbie, thanks for you. You're welcome. Yeah, it is interesting. So, John, interesting to observe the intersection of people who can see crypto's potential role in solving environmental problems as part of the new all-electric economy and the political spectrum in the U.S. I don't know about all-electric. Well, there might be an all-electric economy coming, but I don't know how well we're doing as far as like proof of work and things like that. But of course, everything takes electricity. It all takes power. So, sure. Yeah, so the Rosconian. Rob, when people say we don't want regulation, I think stuff like this is why. We don't want the current people in power to come up with regulations, and that's true. Look, there's always going to be bad actors. It's like going to this is not the best analogy, but it's like going to the gym and getting a personal trainer. You get a great personal trainer, and there's a lot of them out there, but then there's always the one that's junk. Give you like the worst advice of all time and just like, you know what, eat cereal all day long. They'll be fine. Just come out here and do a lot of squats. So like you've got this thing with like Brad Sherman, he's on a spectrum where he is trying to fight for the rights of the people. And that's fine. That's what he's put in power for. But I don't think he's going about it the right way and just saying, well, everything's a security, and then just go down that route, and then of course punish all these exchanges. Did the exchanges truly? No, you can't say that, because there was no guidance, there was no laws, there was no precedent set. I don't understand for sure, but I will reiterate this. And there's still people out there that are trying to go for the right thing as far as regulation, and trying to, not perfect, but doing a lot of a better job. Tom Emmer, Republican. Lummis, Republican. Even Ted Cruz, Republican. And there's a couple on the Democratic side, that do fine job. But all in all, I think a lot of the people that are there, they don't know what the hell they're doing. That's just what it is. That reminds me. There's this great clip. And this is Sam Bankman-Fried. I know some people don't like Sam Bankman-Fried because the FTX and the Voyager deal, but hear me out. So he was testifying before Congress, and they were asking the dumbest questions. And they were pretty much just not bullying him, but, just getting on his nerves because they didn't know exactly what they were talking about. And he called them out, everybody, for that. And I think it's a mistake to have people write the rules and regulations for things they have know nothing or very little about, or even worse, the wrong information. Take a listen to this clip.
But I actually found something a little bit offensive that was said. I'm going to be pretty blunt. Most of the traders on our platform know a lot more about these contracts than many of the people in this room, including many of the people in this room who are condescendingly talking to them about what they do and don't know and should and shouldn't be offered. Anyway, I just had to get off my chest a little bit, and I think it's to some points about consumer choice here. I'm not saying that should be a sort of like be all and end all, but I think there is something to be said for it, and I think that there's some irony in some of the statements made by people attempting to protect those who know massively more than they do about the topic and who understand these products extremely well. Most of our users do.
Yeah, and there you go. So that's just another, unfortunately, the uphill battle that we're all going to have to deal with, because you got people in power who are like, well, I think this is what it is. And of course, they don't do their due diligence research. They just leave it to the pages and the people, and the assistants that help them out. So unfortunately, that's a problem. All right. Let's see. This is an interesting comment. Taylor says, interesting statements coming out of the latest library case. LBRY. SEC saying it does not matter if it has utility, it is still a security, which is quite odd, even if 75% are using the utility and 25% investment. So again, this just comes down to the rules and regulations and the laws that are passed to see exactly what they determine it is. I don't think the Howey test from 1933 can really adequately cover what would be considered a digital asset security or not. Now, some people will argue, well, it's an investment contract and so on and so forth. But I mean, there's a lot of different variables in there, and that's above my pay grade. The thing is, I would say is that if it does have utility, Ethereum has massive utility, I believe. Have you tried to pay the gas fees? I need nothing but Ethereum because it's so damn expensive. So with that one, I could see where there's utility. And XRP, I mean, to me, it just seems like cross-border payments, it has massive utility. But that's just my thought process. If the SEC is going to come and say it doesn't matter if it's a utility or not or whatever else, I think the CFTC would have something to say about that. And that's why they're battling right now. Anyhow, it's a good question. Reed says, when are you moving back to Puerto Rico? First of all, I live in Puerto Rico. We just vacation in Texas for extended periods of time. So I'm over there a solid 7 months or so. Just we've been here for like 3 and going back soon enough. I want to say September, somewhere around there. Just a lot of things to take care of every time we come back. Neil, you tell me squats are for nothing? Well, yeah, squats are great. Know all that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you work out. Everything starts in the kitchen. JG says, is Sweatcoin planning on doing an airdrop for people in the U.S. in the future? Yes, as a matter of fact, they are. If you go to, first of all, I want to take a look at this. So, like, if you go right here, the link's in the description. You go down. You can DanDeesCrypto.com Sweatcoin, where you can just click on the deep dive video. I had the CEO on, and he explained. He expressed his concerns about the legislation or the legal matters that are surrounding the United States right now, and if they're going to be able to let it go. And he says, probably not. He goes, but look, and he said it very clearly. He says, it's not a question of if, it's just a question of when. So the TG event on September 12th, Americans, you and me, we're not getting it. We're not getting that token at that point. But I just figure like this, I might as well download it because who knows what's going to happen in the future. So I'll do it that way. All right. DAP says Simon Dixon said FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried as vultures trying to prey on Celsius as they are in trouble. That's business, unfortunately. I hate to say it like that, but it's just true. Like, if you're a distressed business and you're looking at things going, man, I could really, I could 4x, 5, 10x, 20x that business, and they're really in the dumps. I know how to do it, and I'm not going to pay top dollar. That's pretty much what they're going to do. And it's a bad thing to say because, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are going to get hurt through that. And it really just comes down to which plan is going to come out. Simon and Bank the Future is acting the same way. Maybe not exactly the same way as SPF. What do you think, Rob? I got to tell you, if I had to make a choice between the management of Celsius and the management of Bank to the Future and Simon Dixon, I'm going to pick Simon Dixon and Bank to the Future all day, every day. I cannot tell you. Well, that's all I'm going to say. I don't think I need to say anything else. It is what it is. All right. Yeah, I've never been to Australia. I should probably make my way down there. Shinsky made no friends. Yeah, remember that Sam Bankman-Fried was one of the largest donors to Biden. He was. I think as time goes on, I think he would probably pivot that way, pivot to another party. Again, just business. Well, my man, how you doing? Let me try. Cosmos, I'm not aware of that one. Sorry. I'll tell you what I know, I'll tell you what I don't know, and I'm not going to tell you the things that I don't know. Also, you have to understand I'm super biased. The things that I talk about are things that I own or really believe in. And that's it. Re-elect no boomers, problem solved. Oh, if it's just that easy. I don't know one person actually use XRP as a payment transfer system. I do. When we transferred funds over to family in Mexico, we would, and it worked out great. It's a lot better. Have you tried Western Union? Woof. Have fun paying fees. I've heard of Vive. I think I've got a couple of NFTs in there, but I bought them a long time ago. One was like a Captain America and something. I don't know what the heck. Oh, a Batman thing. Something. Yeah, and that's a good point. The rest of the world already uses XRP without the U.S. jurisdiction. Where was it? Where is that website? Let's see. Here. Look at this. This is a great website. It's through BitInfo Charts. And you can take a look at transactions per day, and you can break it down. Bitcoin, you can put Ethereum if you wanted to, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, XRP, Dash, Zcash, Bitcoin Social Vision. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but sure. And you can take a look at them and just take a look at all the transactions that are done on the daily. So like in green is XRP, just so you know. And then in goldish, gold is, well, that's Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin is in blue, darkish blue right here, I believe. So you can see that, XRP, globally, there's a lot of transactions going on. Now, some people will say, well, that could just be a messaging service or things just going back and so on and so forth. But yeah, sure, whatever. But that's just the on-chain analysis you can take a look at. And on-chain analysis is not perfect, and we know it can be manipulated, but it's a good starting point just to take a look at things. It's bitinfocharts.com. Just take a look at that. BITINFO. Yeah, you know what? Here. I'll just do this. Why don't I put it in the chat so you guys can all find it and take a look at it yourself so you don't have to rely on me. That's easy. All right. Let's put that in the comment section so you can click away. Yeah, let's see. Thank you, Jay, for $1 super sticker. I will not spend that all in one place. Let's see. What happened with Theta? I don't know. Just dormant. We'll see how it works out. Still like it, but who knows? Ah, look at that, Army Piper. Abe met up yesterday with Scott and Steven from the EP meetup. Had a great, fantastic, sick invite. I'm just kidding. I was glad you guys got out. It's awesome. Can you tell your thoughts on Trust Wall? Don't use it. Can't talk about it. Yeah. Let's see. Did I miss it? Yeah. All right. I think we're good. I think that's it. Rob, any news on your Lightning Network? No, Jim, I've just been using Strike, Jack Mahler's platform, which is the Lightning Network, and it works pretty easily if you want to buy Bitcoin. But now I've been using Coinbase lately and taking it off slowly. So that's about it. And then probably I've already signed up for Binance US. Since I live in Puerto Rico, I can actually use it now. So I'll let you know how that goes. But I think it's going to be okay. We'll see. Bummer that I can't use Voyager anymore, but well, I kept all my stuff, so what are you going to do? Anyhow, that's it for today. That was, nice and short, about 30 minutes or so, and that's it. So look, just need a favor. If you could just hit the like, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it. Awesome. And you can subscribe, but I'm here all the time. So I'm here every day. Narky, save your money, but thank you, $20. I can now get a 12-pack of Miller Lite. I'm just kidding. I already got that. All right. Everybody, thanks. I appreciate it. On a Sunday, look at you guys. All right, now get out of here. Have a good day, and we'll see how the week goes. Oh, as a quick reminder, Wednesday, I'm going to have Simon Yu from StormX on. We're going to talk after Jerome Powell pulls the move and shows us what the rates are going to be. I'm going to have my as I call him, the Simon indicator to see where we go from here. So don't miss that one on Wednesday. Anyhow, thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. See you guys in the next one. Adios.